Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about a fascinating topic. How do housing markets affect birth rates? Birth rates are falling all around the world, from the US to Europe to Asia. At the same time, we have seen home prices skyrocket in many cities. For a lot of families, owning a home feels out of reach, and even renting is a financial struggle. So here's the big question. Do high home prices make people have fewer kids? Or does owning a home actually encourage families to grow? Let's break down what research says about this complex relationship between housing and fertility. There are a few main ways housing markets influence fertility decisions. First, there's the cost effect. If housing is expensive, renters have less disposable income. That makes it harder to afford raising a child, and it often pushes people to delay or avoid parenthood. Second, there's the wealth effect. If you already own a home, rising prices increase your household wealth. That can make homeowners feel more financially secure and encourage them to have children. Third, space matters. Families who live in small apartments often say they don't have enough room for kids. Larger single-family homes make childbearing more feasible. And finally, timing effects. Expensive housing markets may not stop people from having children completely, but they often delay it, shifting births later in life. Now let's look at what the data actually says. In the United States, economists Detling and Kearney studied metro-level housing prices. They found that when home prices rise, renters are less likely to have kids, but homeowners are more likely. The two effects offset each other somewhat, but overall, housing markets clearly influence fertility decisions. In the United Kingdom, homeownership used to be a strong predictor of whether people would have children. But over time, that link has weakened. Today, both renters and owners are delaying childbirth in response to broader economic uncertainty. In China, researchers found that high urban housing costs were strongly associated with lower fertility. In fact, unaffordable housing is one of the top reasons cited by young Chinese couples for not having more than one child. And in Brazil, a fascinating natural experiment revealed just how powerful housing access can be. Young adults who won access to subsidized housing loans through a lottery increased their fertility by over 30%. That's strong causal evidence that secure housing encourages family to grow. Let's take a closer look at the Brazil study. The government ran a lottery to randomly allocate access to low-cost housing credit. This created a natural experiment. Some families got affordable loans, others didn't. Researchers tracked fertility outcomes, and the results were striking. Young adults who gained housing credit were significantly more likely to have children within a few years. This shows that when families feel secure in their housing situation, they are more confident about starting or expanding a family. Beyond individual families, there is also macroeconomic perspective. When economists look at housing markets and fertility across decades, they see that the two often move together. In economic booms, when house prices are rising and credit is more available, birth rates also rise. During recessions, both housing markets and fertility decline. This suggests that it is not just about individual costs, but also broader economic cycles. When people feel optimistic about the future, they are more likely to buy homes and have children. Of course, this story is not simple. Results differ by country, time period, and whether you rent or own. For renters, high prices are bad news for fertility. For owners, rising home equity may encourage kids. Cultural and institutional factors also play a role. For example, countries with strong family subsidies or affordable childcare may cushion the impact of housing costs. And we should be careful. Sometimes high housing costs only delay children, not eliminate them. Couples may eventually have the same number of kids, just at a later stage. So what does this all mean? First, it suggests that affordable housing is crucial if societies want to support stable or rising fertility rates. Policies that expand access to housing credit or reduce housing costs can directly influence family formation. Second, it shows that housing policy and family policy are deeply connected. If governments want to tackle falling birth rates, they can't just offer baby bonuses or parental leave. They also need to make sure housing are affordable and accessible. And finally, it's a reminder that economic security in housing, jobs, and childcare is what ultimately shapes family decisions. To wrap it up, housing markets clearly matter for birth rates. Renters and owners experience very different pressures. In expensive markets, many young families delay or avoid having children altogether. But when people gain secure access to affordable housing, fertility often increases. This is an important issue for policymakers, economists, and families alike. Thanks for watching. If you find this analysis interesting, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into economics and demographics, and share your comments in the comment below. Do you think housing costs are shaping family decisions in your community? I'd love to hear your perspective. Thank you. Keep watching.